Some Hallmark movies managed to break all records, placing them as the highest-grossing Hallmark movies ever. Let's kick things off with The Wedding Veil from 2022.
You never had a honeymoon, did you?
We haven't been in a room together long enough to decide where to go.
If you're a fan of flicks like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, this one's right up your alley. It's one of Lacey Chabert's top-notch Hallmark gigs. Now, get this, it's part one of a trilogy, and it's all about a magical bridal veil that's got some serious love mojo. So, we've got this tight-knit group of people who stumble upon this enchanted veil. They decide to go all in and buy it together. But here's the twist. This veil has the power to unite its wearer with their one true love. It's like a love potion, but in fabric form. Now, our leading lady, Avery, is the first to give it a whirl. And wouldn't you know it, she bumps into this handsome stranger named Peter. They hit it off and spend a fantastic day together at a local museum. But here's where it gets interesting. These two start noticing some seriously eerie coincidences in their lives. Avery starts wondering if it's all just fate doing its thing. But wait, plot twist alert, there's a misunderstanding, and Peter starts giving her the cold shoulder. It's like a rom-com drama moment. Avery decides to put him out of her mind and move on, but guess what? Life's got other plans. Peter pops back into her world, this time in her job in Boston. Talk about a small world. Here's where things really get juicy. Turns out, Peter is from one of those super famous philanthropic families. He's also the new board member at the very same museum where Avery works. It's like destiny is playing matchmaker. As if that's not enough, they stumble upon this long-lost painting by some Italian master from the 19th century. And guess what? Peter and Avery are tasked with unveiling its restoration at a special gala. They have to work closely together, and as they do, they start clearing the air and working through their differences. But hold on, remember those eerie coincidences? Well, they're starting to make sense now. It's like that magical bridal veil is doing its thing, bringing these two lovebirds closer and closer. Let's see what these on-screen lovebirds have to say about each other.
The whole thing was amazing. It was great. The whole thing was amazing. Yeah, I had such a blast working with you and our team. It was amazing.
Next, we're diving into a Hallmark flick that's got all the handsome hunks you can handle. Say hello to Three Wise Men and a Baby. We've got Andrew Walker, Tyler Hines, and Paul Campbell playing the Brennan brothers, Luke, Taylor, and Stefan in that order. They're the grown-up, adult sons of Barbara, and let me tell you, they're still firmly planted in the nest. They're like those kids who should have flown out of the coop by now, but they're stuck at home for various reasons. First up is Luke, the firefighter with dreams of building his own house. But here's the twist. Instead of chasing those dreams, he's busy putting out a gazillion personal fires every single day. Talk about a busy guy. Then there's Taylor, the hot-headed video game designer. Sounds cool, right? Well, his temper just got him fired, and now he's chilling in Barbara's basement. Life took a different turn for him. Last but not least, we've got Stefan, the overly anxious pet psychologist. He's got his own living space, but he wants to make it crystal clear. It's not in Barbara's backyard, all right? No confusing that with a shed. Now Barbara, their loving mom, just wants to have a good old Christmas with her boys, like the good old days when they were kids. But guess what? The plot of this Hallmark movie does what Hallmark movies do best. It throws a curveball. A snowstorm hits, and poor Barbara gets stranded at her sister's place. So much for the cozy family Christmas she had in mind. But wait for it, here comes the kicker. Luke stumbles upon a baby at the fire station, and get this, the baby is addressed to him. It's like something out of a Christmas miracle. Of course, Luke takes the baby in, and now the Brennan brothers are on a mission to take care of this little bundle of joy until the mystery mother shows up, hopefully by Christmas. Can you imagine these guys trying to navigate the world of diapers, baby bottles, and lullabies? It's like a recipe for hilarity and heartwarming moments. But here's the real question. Will looking after this tiny human help Luke, Stefan, and Taylor figure out their own lives? It's like the universe threw them a curveball in the form of a baby, and now they've got to step up to the plate. Here's a sneak peek.
I can't wait to see what's happening here. Did you bake? Did he bake? Did you bake? Why aren't they burnt? Why isn't the baby crying? Why aren't you crying? Whatever.
Off to Signed, Sealed, Delivered, Home Again. This gem is part of a popular series that follows the adventures of the Postables, a bunch of postal workers with a mission to deliver old lost mail that's been hiding away for ages. Now, in Home Again, the gang stumbles upon an ancient vase. And you know what that means, right? Yep, you guessed it, an exciting mystery unfolds. It's one of those feel-good old-school kind of flicks that's got that Hallmark magic. And guess what? It's stolen the hearts of Hallmark fans left and right. Rotten Tomatoes even gives it a solid 82% rating. Here's a sneak peek.
Does Norman know?
No, it's short notice, and my parents are very spontaneous. And if I told Norman, he would get that tummy thing he gets, when he's terrified.
But here's what makes this movie even more fantastic. It's part of a whole series of films, and let me tell you, according to some fans, these movies just keep getting better and better. It's like a fine wine aging gracefully. Right after you soak up the goodness of home again, there's a follow-up waiting for you. Signed, sealed, delivered, to the altar. Actress Kristen Booth, who's part of the magic, talked about this in an interview. She couldn't stop raving about the script, calling it the best ever written by the talented Martha Williamson. Kristen even let it slip that she shed a tear or two every time she read that script. Now that's the kind of emotional investment you want in a series. It's like a testament to the heart and soul poured into these stories. So, if you're on the hunt for a heartwarming series that's got mystery, romance, and a whole lot of charm, the Signed, Sealed, Delivered series is where it's at. This series brought Hallmark a lot of fame and big bucks. It's got that special touch that keeps you coming back for more. Trust us, this series is worth every minute of your time. Moving on, we're diving into The Lost Valentine. Now, you know how most Hallmark TV movies usually feature actors you kinda sorta recognize? Well, this one kicks it up a notch. It's got not one, but two Hollywood stars in the mix. Betty White and Jennifer Love Hewitt, to be exact. Just hearing that should get you excited, and no wonder this flick rocks a solid 76% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So here's the scoop on the movie. Betty White, rest in peace, took the lead as a war widow who's been doing something truly heartwarming. Every year, on the same day, she heads back to her local train station. Why, you ask? Well, she's holding on to a glimmer of hope that her missing husband will miraculously return from the war. Now, you and I both know that's just a symbol at this point, but it's a beautiful one. Enter Jennifer Love Hewitt, who plays a young reporter on a mission. Her job? To tell the widow's heartstring-tugging story. But of course, in true Hallmark fashion, things take a romantic twist. See, this reporter starts catching some serious feelings for the widow's grandson. Love is in the air, my friends. One review from Variety hit the nail on the head. They basically said, Betty White, heck yes, that's reason enough to watch this movie. And honestly, who can argue with that? Betty White is a national treasure, and having her in a film is like adding sprinkles to an ice cream sundae. But hold on. Don't sleep on Jennifer Love Hewitt's storyline either. If you're a sucker for a good love story, and let's be real, who isn't? You're in for a treat. This movie's got that perfect blend of heartwarming moments and a dash of romance. Here's a little behind the scenes for you guys.
Betty White has been working in showbiz since 1939. But up till now, there's been one ambition unfulfilled.
Through the years, people have always asked me,
So, if you're in the mood for a feel-good movie with a sprinkle of Hollywood stardust, The Lost Valentine is where it's at. It's like a warm hug for your soul, and a reminder that love has the power to transcend time and touch the most unexpected hearts. This movie brought a lot of amazing ratings for the channel. Trust me, you won't regret it. Now let's talk about another hit movie switched for Christmas. This 2017 rom-com is like Hallmark's holiday golden child, and it's not hard to see why. It's got all the elements that make a rom-com oh so fun. Picture this. Twins who are absolutely fed up with their own Christmas plans decide to pull a switcheroo. You know, a classic twin move. And of course, along the way, they stumble headfirst into romance. It's like a holiday version of The Parent Trap or The Princess Switch. But here's the real kicker, the cherry on top, the star of the show. It's the lead actress's double performance. Yep, you heard that right. The two main characters are both played by the same talented woman, and she nails it. Actress Candace Cameron Bure is the real MVP here. She took on the challenge of playing two roles and acting against herself. Talk about a one-woman show. Oh, and if you didn't know, Bure's sister, Natasha, also made her debut with the ISS movie. Let's see what she has to say about this.
I grew up watching them, and so to do a project with them along with doing it with my mom was such a cool experience. And that was my first movie that I've ever done in general. So the experience overall was just amazing, and I'm so blessed to have had.
She spilled the beans in an interview with All Moom Does, saying how much of a challenge it was. But you know what? She made it look easy. Now, here's the fun part. Candace Cameron Bure is no newbie when it comes to holiday Hallmark movies. She's like the queen of Christmas movies. She's got one for you every single year, like a special gift wrapped up just for you. But here's the twist. She's always on the hunt for that perfect script to make her Christmas movie stand out and top the last one she did. It's like a friendly competition with herself to spread the holiday cheer. And guess what? Switched for Christmas was the perfect pick for her. It's like a match made in holiday heaven. Viewers loved it just as much as she had hoped, and that's the magic of a great Christmas rom-com. So, if you're in the mood for some holiday cheer, a dash of romance, and a double dose of Candace Cameron Bure's charm, Switched for Christmas is the movie for you. It's like a cozy sweater for your heart, and it'll leave you with that warm, fuzzy feeling that only a great holiday movie can deliver. Now, this one's not just a movie. It's the start of one of Hallmark's most successful film franchises. Yes, we're talking about Love Comes Softly. It's the granddaddy of them all, and it's no surprise that the original film rocks one of the highest audience ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, a whopping 87%. That's like hitting a home run in the world of Hallmark films. So here's the deal. This heartwarming 2003 flick stars Katherine Heigl and Dale Midkiff as a couple who, let's just say, didn't exactly tie the knot for love at first sight. Nope, they did it out of sheer necessity, smack dab in the prairies of good ol' America back in the 19th century. And here's the twist. It's based on a book by Jeanette Oke, who spilled the beans in an interview. She revealed that the story was inspired by the real-life tale of her own ancestors, who had to say, "I do" to survive. Talk about a wild backstory. Now, the guy behind the camera, director Michael Landon Jr., let us in on a little secret in an interview with Christian Answers. He mentioned that the movie's got a strong Christian vibe going on, and that wasn't an easy sell in Hollywood. In his words, Love Comes Softly took a solid decade to make it to the big screen because everyone thought it was, well, too soft. But you know what? Michael wasn't about to back down. He believed in the soul of the story, and he knew authenticity was key. He said, "I've always been somewhat outspoken in my faith. Each film has something of a soul, and I think people can smell a fake." And you know what? He's got a point. People can tell when something's genuine, and that's why this film clicked with audiences. So thanks to Michael's determination and his commitment to the story, we got to experience Love Comes Softly. And based on its enduring popularity, it's safe to say he made all the right choices. It's like a warm, cozy blanket on a chilly winter's day, and it's got that special touch that makes it a true Hallmark classic. If you're in the mood for a heartfelt tale of love, survival, and faith, Love Comes Softly is your go-to. It's like a slice of wholesome Americana, and it'll tug at your heartstrings like no other. So grab some popcorn, get comfy, and let this timeless gem transport you to a simpler time when love truly came softly. You won't regret it. So which one of these is your favorite movie? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed our content, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, everyone.